Sorry I'm a little late here, but we had a lot to do on the way over. Anyway, it's pretty simple. I've already said it. Save water, save money. Vote for 1 and 2, and California save, and this is what's going to do it. It's not, as some people always have to say, hey, it isn't everything. Of course it's not everything, but it's a major step, and that's all we ever do, unless you're in the land of Oz, where something completely supernatural happens. We're taking a major step to set California on the path of very intelligent water investments. And what's so critical about this water bond, it's not just a big grab bag of he wants, she wants, they want. This has been put together by thoughtful people, not politicians, although politicians have represented their constituents, but scientists, engineers, people whose job it is to understand water and to understand what we need to do about it. So it's an integrated plan. Each piece feeds the other. So recycling, conservation, reuse, capturing stormwater, making significant multi-hundred million dollar funds available based on competitive grants, based on counties applying to the state, with thoughtful people deciding how to make it work. So water is life. If we can feel the heat of this, you know how important water is. It can be used a lot more efficiently throughout the state. There's a lot more technology. There's a lot of just kind of basic stuff that can be done. And this Proposition 1 is the most important water commitment that the people of California can make since the last Proposition 1 in 1960. And by the way, that barely passed. So we got to keep working to make sure this one does win the support of California. And then, in a very interesting way, Proposition 2 is about a different kind of water. It's the, it's a metaphor, a rainy day fund. Now, a rainy day fund, when we're talking about money, we don't like that kind of rain because we're trying to avoid the storms of fiscal turbulence. And Proposition 2, by laying aside $1 billion or $2 billion every year, gets us a fund so when things go bad, and by the way, they do go bad on average every 5 years. By bad, I mean a recession, sometimes longer. We need some money around instead of we slash everything. So 1 and 2 is really good. And I think its inherent merit is reflected in the fact that every Republican in this Central Valley voted for 1 and 2, and every Democrat in the Central Valley. So that's a level of unity that the people in Washington would die for, because they are so screwed up that something like water or roads or budget integrity, it's beyond. And by the way, we have some of the same differences right here in California. It's not that we don't have deeply felt beliefs, but I think we are noticing with the pressure of the drought that we got to rise above party or our own little pet views of the world and link arms, as it were, and work for California. So that's what Proposition 1 and 2 is, and I'm very glad to be a part of it. And it doesn't mean that after they pass that it's over with. No, we got a lot to do. On Proposition 1, we got to make all this stuff work. We got to pick out the storage projects. We got to pick out the recycling project, the stormwater capture. There's a lot of stuff that a lot of people have to do. So it's not over. I know you may get bored because the campaign's over, but the real operational activity takes place. Same thing with Proposition 2. You put the money away, which means we're not spending it. Well, if you're not spending it, there are going to be a lot of people come along and say, hey, we better raise taxes or something so we can spend it anyway. Well, that's going to be quite a challenge, and I guarantee you we are going to run a prudent next 4 years. And I am very aware of my responsibilities as the only fourth-term governor, assuming I win. I'm not assuming anything, but if I do, it will be a fourth term. And a fourth term will be very different than a first term or a second term. and it will be even different than a third term. Now, what that will all be, you just, fasten your seatbelt. It'll be a very exciting ride. Thank you very much.
I want to thank everybody for coming out today and coming out to visit our farm. I want to say that let's spread the word. We need to vote yes on Propositions 1 and 2 through social media, to your friends, your neighbors. Let's get both of these passed. We can save water, save money, and save California.